In this episode,
Can you tell us 5 things about him, maybe 5 things that separated him from the pack for you?
Let me pretend to think. Oh, she's obviously a bad actress as well as a bad writer.
Right. That's
mean-
a strange thing to say, but okay.
In that way,
Okay.
because you would normally, you'd be like, well, I suppose I could have forgotten, but you're not going to do that on a stand necessarily, are you? I don't know.
No.
I don't know. My favourite bit about this is that the prosecution is just letting her rant.
Of course they
And
are.
he's-
They're
it's
like,
that
this
whole-
is gold.
Yeah, hang yourself. What is it? Hung by her own tard.
Give somebody enough rope and they'll hang
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Hi everyone, welcome back. Here we are again. Today we are doing Nancy Brophy, who
Nancy Brophy.
Paul is
Who
going to tell you
is-
about because I have
Well,
no idea. I've never heard of her.
I don't know a huge amount about her, but
I mean, you know enough.
I do remember the case. So she was an author,
Mm-hmm.
really bad one, who killed her husband, basically, who was a
Right.
teacher. She shot him. And
He was a chef,
She-
teaching a chef.
yeah, he worked in a
Yeah.
culinary school. And she shot him, and it basically, as far as I know, the entire case was circumstantial in
Yes.
evidence. They didn't really find a lot of hard evidence, but she would do Google searches on how do I use a gun, basically, or how do I create a gun or whatever. But she also wrote something about 10 years previously going, how to kill your husband and get away with it,
Yes.
or something like that.
Yes,
And
yeah.
she was constantly writing these little things and talking about killing the husband and stuff. And then during the investigation, if I remember correctly, she asked the police for a letter to say that she wasn't a suspect in the crime. Could they please give her a letter confirming she wasn't a suspect in the crime so that she could give it to the insurance company to get money?
Oh my God.
Yeah, like she was crazy, absolutely crazy.
I have to say, if you aren't a suspect and you would need the insurance money, that seems like a reasonable thing to do. No?
No, Helen, if my husband had just been murdered, I'm not going to go to the police and go, excuse me, Sergeant, may I have a letter to show the
Oh,
insurance
she did it quite
company?
soon afterwards. Oh, I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
think
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I assumed, sorry, that was my assumption, that it was months
So
into
anyway,
the process. Okay.
During when it was happening, when she was on trial a couple of years ago, of course, people were sending me clips going,
Obviously.
what do you think? What's happening? What's going on? And from the clips I saw, she tried to build rapport with the judge. She tried to come across as this super lovely granny person. And if I remember correctly, I may not be, she used, flowery language, and she tried to build rapport with the prosecutor who was cross-examining her, and she would have these memory lapses oh, I can't remember if I was standing outside the school with a gun to kill my husband, this kind of shit.
I mean, you probably would remember that. Oh my God. Well,
Anyway.
what I've learned is that
Yes, you tell me you tell me the real notes that you've got.
No, I mean, I've not learned a huge amount, but what I have learned is that she ordered something called a ghost gun or what was it called? A ghost gun kit. Yes, ghost gun kit, where you get different parts of a gun so that there's no serial number, so you can't be traced for any bullets. And that was never found. Those parts were never found.
Okay.
That she wrote a blog post called How to Murder Your Husband in 2011.
Right. Okay.
Yep. And said it was fictional and tongue-in-cheek. It was actually excluded from the trial due to its prejudicial potential. So, yeah, she So it says here, her presence near the institute that morning was mere coincidence or full writing, but her memory was hazy due to shock.
Okay.
Have you ever experienced in fact, I know the answer, like a sudden death type shock thing?
No, not personally.
I have. I remember it with crystal clear clarity. Now, I understand that not everybody reacts the same way in those moments.
No,
but when
they do.
somebody's significant...
There are elements. We talked about this in one of the videos. There are snapshots that the brain remembers with deep clarity.
So clear. Some things are exaggerated. Like, weirdly, my stepmother's cheeks seemed really big as she was telling me that my father had died. And it was... yeah, like it's crystal clear. Like it happened yesterday. No, and like I said, not everyone reacts the same way. But if you were near the building and then you found out your husband was shot in the building, you'd probably be like, this is what I was doing. And
well, I can't remember if I was there or not, And I think it ties into this whole lovable granny thing that she was trying to do.
I've got Alzheimer's. I can't remember. Maybe
Let's
I don't know. Let's start it though. But yeah, it's a very circumstantial, but it's a very solid picture from the circumstantial evidence.
Okay.
I just want to let you know that we believe Dan. We believe it's Dan that's been killed. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of got that when everybody gave me the sad sack look. Yeah.
Who says that?
What did she actually say?
Yeah, I kind of got that when everybody gave me the sad sack look.
I thought she said sad sack, and I thought she can't possibly be.
Well, that's not how normal people react to their spouse being murdered.
I'm sorry. It's our job to figure out what happened, and that's why we're talking to you.
Oh, sure.
Because you're part of the story, right? Of what took place, and so I just want to be, straightforward and frank with you.
Good.
Is there anybody that that wanted to do something to Dan? Everybody I've heard from so far is like, Dan's a nice guy.
He is a nice
guy. And students seem to like him and everything. So that's why the question is like, why would...
She's trying to interrupt, which is very odd behavior. Because normally when you're in shock, you go silent.
Dead silent.
Especially when they're explaining what's happening or whatever the case may be. Because you're too overwhelmed with emotion. Or you yell, or you become hyper aroused because you're very distressed and you want information quicker rather than trying to interrupt.
So this is really interesting because she's now sitting listening to the call where she's been told about him, right? And look at it, she's just like she's listening to Radio 4.
Or that she's one of the lawyers.
Yes, because initially I was like, which one is she? Oh, by deduction, she must be the one on the end, right? But, like...
It took me 4.5 years to convince him to marry me. I mean,
Again, not something you would say in conversation. Really.
What is the purpose of that? Took 4.5 years to convince him to marry me. Like,
rapport
look at my
maybe,
laugh.
or...
Yeah, look at how big my loss is.
Yeah. Possibly.
I was desperate for this
like
marriage, so I wouldn't have done this.
Or maybe she hasn't thought through the interrogation end of things. Because a lot of people don't.
No.
When people think through the initial steps, what they think about is their interrogation on the stand. They don't think about their interrogation in the interrogation room. So
that's fascinating.
They forget to prep themselves for that hot.
So hang on a minute, I just need to write this down. To commit the perfect murder. I'm going to write a blog called How to Murder Your... right? So to commit the perfect thing, we have to plan for the interrogation with the police as well.
Yes,
Okay.
preferably.
Right. You'll be my lawyer though, right?
I'm not the one with the law degree.
No, but
Something.
it's more about how to influence.
You know, he is, but we had a great marriage.
Okay.
But the only people I know who have ever hated him was his ex-wife, and whose ex-wife doesn't hate the husband, you know, and I can't believe after 25 years she'd be motivated,
Okay.
you know, so, yeah, I mean, short of that,
All right.
we live a quiet
Surely
life.
you'd throw something.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure.
Well, you hear the cadence going up and down, that what you would expect to hear well, first of all, I wouldn't expect her to be interjecting when no questions are being asked. She's volunteering information, and volunteering innocuous, ridiculous,
Yeah, he did ask her, was there
information.
anyone that didn't like him?
Right. And
Right.
I would normally expect to hear, no.
Oh,
Or-
yes, sorry, okay, got you, yes.
You know, the only person who didn't like him was his ex-wife. But she's volunteering way too much information in this exchange. And the linguistic pattern is too excited rather
Right.
than sad or overwhelmed or distraught. Or she's trying to create a narrative, a story. She's like, it's like she believes
Yes.
that she's the central character in one of her really bad books.
Have you actually ever read one?
No. I'm just assuming her books are bad.
I wonder if her sales went up. I bet they did.
They probably did.
Yeah,
They probably
guaranteed.
did. This is what happens when I know the case. I become biased.
Yeah, but you always own it, so that's fine.
Figure out what, you know, and that's why I'm asking
Sure.
some of these kind of questions.
Can you
and
tell me
stuff.
what happened, as far as you know?
Wow. That would be my
Again,
first
that's not a normal question.
No.
Because can you tell me what happened as far as you know? Because normally somebody in a situation like that is going to go, what the hell happened? What happened? So you'll have repetition requests for information because of the urgency, because of the distress, because of the whole thing, that this is just so overwhelming to you that you can't process this information.
Yes. And it would be the first question. What do you mean? No, what happened? You wouldn't. Can you tell me
Yeah.
what happened as far as you know? Because what this is to surmise.
I need
then,
to find this information so that I can weave it into my narrative or something like that, probably.
But, well, I think what we can also assume is that this isn't a shock.
Well,
This
it's
is no
not. You can tell it
surprise.
by her. You can tell it by her
Right.
by her language patterns. There's no shock here. So I
she-
imagine this conversation rang serious alarm bells with the investigators.
I bet it did. But also, there's a rehearsal to it, isn't there? She. You know when you tell stories that you've told before, you know there's a rhythm to them, and you know what's coming up, and you know when you're dropping the punchline, and you know when you're doing this. It's almost like that. She's rehearsed it, or am I off the mark? I could be wrong, but obviously.
I mean, I don't know that she's I don't hear too much rehearsal, but I do hear what she thinks is the right behavior,
Okay.
but is missing the
okay.
mark completely.
Mm.
So
And she's not been
obviously-
diagnosed with anything, has she? So
Hasn't she? I don't know.
no, there's no diagnoses pre or post. There's been a suggestion of MPD, but I don't know. I think everyone likes diagnosing that these days.
With an AR-15?
No, I don't know what he was shot.
Oh.
But he was shot.
An
with a gun.
AR-15. Why? Why would
Sorry,
you?
run that by me again?
As far as you know,
He was shot.
with an AR-15?
No.
What the hell sort of question is that?
Why would
Like,
you?
genuinely, what sort of question is that?
So I had in my brain, maybe that's a cultural thing, and then I was like, no. That is never
No,
going to be your first
that is
question.
nothing to. No, it's not. That's not a cultural thing. And to be quite honest with you, when we're talking about guns in the United States, the grand majority of people, when they think of a gun, Americans included, are thinking of a handgun.
Like a pistol.
Not,
or a
yes,
Glock
not a
or-
machine gun. I mean, an AR-15 is a semi-automatic machine gun, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Can you Google it for me?
Yeah, of course.
I'm
But-
sure it's a semi-automatic or something like that.
It's a rifle, yes, semi-automatic rifle.
Right?
Similar to the Colt AR-15 design.
So, very
That's
odd.
also, because normally, like, I don't know about you, but when I think about semi-automatic, AK-47 is the first thing that comes into my brain.
Mine
AR
too. AK-47 or a P90 comes into my brain.
Walter PPK from James Bond. Do you remember? Walter PPK. Or a Glock, because that would always be in
Glock
the
is a
movies.
handgun.
Yes, no, well, so is a Walter PPK. But the AK-47. But yes, why would you imagine that he was killed by a machine gun or semi-automatic?
And why would you ask the question? It's all
Why?
very odd. It's all very odd. Especially to a policeman.
Could it be equalising? An attempt at equalising? I know about guns. You can trust me. No?
I don't think so, because if you were trying to equalise, you would say, what kind of gun was he shot with? I mean, either which way, it's a very
It's
odd
a
question.
a silly
Yeah.
question.
I don't know.
Oh,
You can see that the
It's
person
like,
interviewing her or the investigator, because of that, that's a
yeah,
that's a hesitation cadence going.
right.
What the
What's going on
Like-
here, Quickly?
I don't even know what kind of gun he was shot with. Why would you ask that question? You know, so very odd.
Shot with a gun. Why do you say AR-15?
because school shootings are all
Oh, no.
AR-15s now.
It's a
She might be trying to frame it as a school shooting.
Or that she would
A school
believe it's a school shooting.
Maybe a
To
school
make it look
shooting
like
that only
she's
killed
innocent.
him.
it's it happened as far as I know, and I would ask that you keep this between us. You know,
It's all over the
at some
internet
point
tomorrow.
when he showed up here this morning, and so
They didn't call. Where was Shadu? Why didn't they call the police before that?
that's what we're gonna see. That's information that we're trying to kind of sort all of this out. I don't
Where
know.
was the other instructor? He doesn't
The
keep
other,
them alone.
yeah, I know. The other instructor showed up after and found him. So that's what we're trying to sort out.
What a stupid thing to say. But that was to garner sympathy and empathy, because you can hear the forced quiver put into her voice. So he was alone.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can do that. It's not that
I mean, my
difficult.
sister did it all the time.
Right.
Growing up. She's faking. My 9-year-old does it, as you well know. God love her.
Time you saw Dan Brophy? Oh yeah, tell me about it. Culinary school in Western Culinary, which was where I was, had a program where
See, she's trying to. I don't know whether she's talking to the prosecutor or whether she's talking to her own defense
I will tell you.
attorney, but she's definitely
defense.
trying to. She's definitely trying to humanize herself here and make herself just like you, soft and, you know.
Like Dolores Umbridge. You don't know who that is, do you?
was the first class you took, and it was 6.
In Harry Potter.
Do you know why? Do you know the reference?
Well, Umbridge was a very sweet, vindictive psychopath, wasn't she?
Yes. Well done.
Yeah.
And she looked like a sweet old granny and liked cats.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
The
proud.
Queen.
So when we joined the students,
What?
Dan
Imelda, whatever her name is.
Oh, yes.
either that day or the day before. So it was like we all came together at the same place at the same time.
Had you ever met a guy anything like Dan Brophy before you met him? No. He was unique.
This is rehearsed. Not only is this rehearsed, this is taught.
Oh.
So, this is not natural.
When
This has been coached.
When you talk about someone you love that's died, especially in this sort of way, and you were recounting when you first met, would it not be with grief and pain? Would you not be tearful? Or like emotional, like, oh my, nostalgic, but also like my loss at the same time?
You would, to a certain degree. It depends on how long it is after the death.
Sure.
But in a situation like this, if you were told to describe him, and you're describing him in loving terms and all the rest of it, your instinct is actually to look down, because that's a very private moment that you want to keep private because of what has happened. So you're going to go, yeah, it was a great time, because you're reminiscing.
Yes.
And whereas, so if I had a client that I was telling, these are the questions I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask you these questions to humanize you. I need you to keep your head up, and I need you to keep your shoulders up. I need you to soften your features. I need you to smile. I need you to half close your eyes. And the reason I want you to half close your eyes is because half closed eyes are a sign of, they draw us in. Because, when I eyeball you, if I eyeball you, it's confrontational. If I half close my eyes and I go,
I've just thought of a particular interview.
He was wonderful. I really liked him. Now, your instinct is to go, he was wonderful. But the audience can't see that. The audience being the jury.
Yeah.
I need the jury to see these facial expressions.
Right. Okay.
So I need to now coach you to go against what is normal. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying this is coach. Now, I'm not saying that she had a behaviorist coach or whatever. It could have been just a run through with the lawyer saying, okay, I need you to act like this and behave like this and whatever, which is perfectly normal and usual.
Yes.
Can you tell us 5 things about him, maybe 5 things that separated him from the pack for you?
Let me pretend to think. Oh, she's obviously a bad actress as well as a bad writer.
Right?